Estamos mostrando lo que es Maldita Castilla. Cheers Castilla. Maldita. Un Metroidvania clásico para Nintendo Switch. The Falconeer. También disponible para Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4 y 5.
From the clouds they dive, the screams of battle in their lungs. They find each
Un día de variados anuncios de la E3.
cold sea.
Estamos a la espera de que a las 5 de la tarde, 5 y media de la tarde, sea el evento de Capcom. The Falconeer.
Sunsoft present the final piece of a trilogy. A metal attacker embarks on a brand new adventure.
Otro videojuego que ya salió.
Side view and top-down action.
Imagino si esa edición estará para Nintendo Switch, esa edición gigante coleccionista.
Jason's third battle against mutant kind is about to begin.
Voy y vuelvo, voy y vuelvo.
Threats await him in a new dimension. The pinnacle of mutant blasting action is here. Blaster Master 03. A new chapter in Blaster Master history unfolds. July 29th, 2021. Inti creates.
PlayStation.
Here for our first stream back since the whole COVID thing.
Yeah,
and we got
that's
to
right.
spin it for E3.
E3 stream, very
Oh
special.
yeah. Woo. Can you guys hear us okay? Are you guys, is the audio fine? Oh, there we go. Hold on. There we go. We fixed it.
We're
I
all
fixed
good.
it. I fixed it.
Rated
Okay.
RP2M.
I forgot that it wasn't transition.
We're just keeping it going over.
Yeah. What's up, guys?
Hello.
Okay, so what are you guys most excited for? What are you excited for?
Ooh, definitely the Castlevania announcements.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Haven is my top one.
Ooh, Haven's a good one.
I know. I love Haven. Haven was so much fun.
Chat's popping off. I
Yeah.
see some plumbers don't wear ties. Haven, Castlevania, Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Those are all good ones. I mean, for me, Symphony of the Night's like one of my all-time favorite games. Definitely one that I used to play a lot. Oh yeah.
But we know most of you are still watching from
All
home.
right.
But we know most of you are still
All
watching
right.
from
So,
home.
what did you guys think of the show? Was it up to your expectations? Was it as spooky as you guys expected? I think it hit right on the nose.
It's been a hard
Check
time for
audio.
everyone this year in this
Our
current
audio or
Our
the stream
audio.
audio?
reflecting on this past
Car is best announcement. Gift card. Oh yeah, we do. Oh yeah, we do have Contra coming too. Contra is one that people have been asking for a long time.
That's right.
So,
We really are. All in this
and
together. We really are.
let's
All in-
see.
Here's our first announcement.
Do you think we should go ahead and just start off with a giveaway? About 1 minute until. Oh,
I think so. So
yeah?
we promise you guys giveaways in the chat every 15 minutes. We've already done 2 giveaways during our E3 conference, so we're gonna keep it going. So keep a lookout in the chat. All you have to do to enter for the giveaway, it's very easy, is follow us on Twitch. And if you're already following us, then you're good. And just be active in the chat. Just talk to each other. Be nice. And comment, and you'll be thrown in the ring for a free giveaway. I think we have some of them
We
here.
do. They're over there. If you wanna snag a couple.
See if I can sit
Here, let
on
me
over here.
let me move this right here. We can have it. We can show it off.
That was pretty cool. But instead of cool, what if our next game was
Yeah.
I'm back.
Super hot.
Can you believe it?
So this was our Twitter giveaway. We do have a Twitter giveaway going on. If you go and you make sure you're following and you retweet, we had a post go up at what 3? Yeah, it's 3 o'clock, and we are giving away a copy, collector's edition of Blaster Master 1 and 2. Some hype for Blaster Master 3 that's coming out. And alright. What do we want to give away now though?
What should we give away?
We've got a couple of goodies.
I think you guys like a little game called
Celeste? What do you think? What do you think about Celeste? Celeste? Do you guys like Celeste? I don't know. Maybe it's not hype enough for them. Oh, there they are.
There we go.
So I've heard the kids talk like this now.
Oh, goodness.
So I want to hear what is your guys' in the chat's favorite physical announcement so far from the show? What are you most hyped about? And what was the one thing that you didn't expect?
Yeah. How many of you actually expected that plumbers don't wear ties? You actually expected that? You know, Josh has been teasing this on Twitter for so long. I don't know, you guys don't understand how many times we've had to, like, reel him in from, like, trying to spoil it for you guys. And, it can get a little difficult. A lot of people are excited for Contra.
Volvemos
I see there are some people
en esta E3 2021. Buena, Chalo.
coming to PS5. That's pretty awesome.
Yes.
El evento de Onimusha. No tengo idea. Alde GF23. Bueno, estamos viendo el evento de Limited Run Games. En poquito menos de media horita más. Poquito más de media hora, digo. Es el evento de Capcom. Pero ahora estamos viendo el Limited Run Games. Con varios videojuegos como River City Girls Zero.
Sam and Adam Dees.
That's right. Of
Deep
the,
Throat.
of the Netflix Castlevania series. You can check out on our Twitch videos.
Yes. Especially when all types of art games.
Ahí con la interrupción de ese tipo bastante extraño.
Oh, so much Castlevania goodness. Yes. Plumber was definitely surprising.
Bueno,
Yes.
ya. Vamos a volver con el E3. Ya demasiadas rarezas en ese sentido.
that there is more representation and that we are being they are casting appropriately,
Vamos a
but that they
cambiar
care
la
to really
fuente.
do the research and do a positive portrayal of it. And I'm working on a video game.
Ojalá que haya un anuncio de Mucha de varios videojuegos que estamos esperando se pueda mostrar.
Or also, you know, there was a time, and it still happens occasionally, I'm sad to say, but there was a time when they would just assume, oh, you're Indian, you know all the Indian things in all the Indian languages. And I'm like, let's have a moment about that, because that's not true. I speak Spanish better than any of those. So,
Somos Entre Viñetas en la E3. Recuerden que pueden participar por el Halo 5 Guardians, cortesía de los amigos de Xbox. Para eso tienen que concursar en nuestro Instagram @entreviñetascl. Y lo que tienen que hacer es lo siguiente: darle like y etiquetar a 2 amigos para que sigan nuestras cuentas de Twitch y YouTube. Importante que si tú y los que etiquetas no siguen las cuentas, tu participación quedará fuera del sorteo. Compartir la publicación en tus historias y etiquetarnos. Y si tienes un perfil privado, tómale un screenshot con al menos 3 horas de haberlo publicado. Y por último, coméntanos por qué quieres el juego y qué te apasiona tanto de los videojuegos, utilizando para ello el hashtag #MelaHalo con Entre Viñetas. Estamos esperando ahora el E3 de Capcom a las 17:30 horas, en 40 minutos más. ¿Qué esperan que nos diga Capcom en su conferencia? Esperamos sus comentarios. Mientras tanto, yo voy a cambiar el hashtag del when all the things I really wanted to see happened that I never expected to happen. Just number one being represented, because all the marketing materials, most all of them, early on in the life of Mass Effect were. Estamos esperando la conferencia de Capcom. Until like when Mass Effect 3 came out. Hasta hace poco estábamos viendo la conferencia de Limited Run Games, donde incluyeron videojuegos como River City Gears Hero, un FPS clásico Strife que estará pronto, la serie Shantae para PlayStation 5, entre ellas Shantae Genie Hero, Underground Course, Risky Range Director's Cut y el Shantae clásico, todas esas para PlayStation 5. Bloodbraid Betrayal, un hack slash tipo Castlevania. Haven, un ARPG que estará ahora para PlayStation 5 y a finales del año en PlayStation 4. Skatebird para el 12 de agosto, el nombre lo dice, videojuego de skate con aves. Handdown, un beat'em up 2D con su Collector Edition. Action Verge, un Metroidvania bastante bueno, va a estar pronto. Spoon. Dusk, un FPS clásico que ya está. Republic, un FPS tipo táctico. Going Under, aventura en oficina. Bastante. Básicamente como los internos valen callampa. Ya está para Nintendo Switch, lo mismo que One Step for Eden, un juego de ataque con cartas. RWBY Grim Edition o RUBI, no sabría cómo definir ese nombre. Retromania Wrestling, un videojuego de peleas tipo lucha libre con hasta 4 jugadores por lado, por decirlo así, o sea, un 4 contra 4, 8 en total. Castlevania Requiem y anuncios de Konami, Castlevania Requiem y Contra Anniversary Collection. Varios videojuegos llamando la atención ahí, los Shantae, los clásicos. Republic también, One Step for Eden. Los Castlevania que son clásicos, los FPS como Strife o Dusk. Ha sido un E3 bastante discreto respecto de los anuncios de videojuegos, a mi parecer. veamos que Capcom pueda en ese sentido inclinar la balanza y informar de más juegos. Esperemos.
And we see it. I'm not a gamer, but I see the response female gamers have when they come up to us and thank us and tell them how they tell us how.
Mañana es la E3 de Nintendo.
I've seen it from the inside gen, and I've seen it from the ones who play and go. I've tried to play for years, and all I have are male characters that I can play that I don't resonate with, and now they get it, and they thank us for it. And I didn't create these characters, but we infuse them with life, and we see it with the gamers.
Y les recordamos que mañana, en la E3 de Nintendo, al final de esta E3, haremos el sorteo del Halo 5 Guardians. Nuestras bases están en nuestro Instagram. Esperemos que...
Me first. No, I'm ready. Here I go. It means being the pillar of support that everyone needs in the community. It means a rising tide, lifting all boats, helping other women.
Estamos esperando a que sea la E3 de Capcom a las 17:30. Somos Entre Viñetas en E3, somos más que solo cómics. A las 17:30 horas se supone que es la E3 de Capcom. ¿Qué creen que podrían anunciar ahí en ese 3? Comenta con nosotros utilizando el hashtag Entre Viñetas, o sea, E3 en Entre Viñetas. También utilizar el Capcom EB. Estamos a 35 minutos de la conferencia. Ya bastante discreto respecto de los anuncios de videojuegos. Más allá de los de Limited Run Games, que fueron bastante interesantes en realidad. Esperemos que Capcom salve un poco lo que fue la presentación de hoy. O lo que está haciendo la presentación de hoy día.
We're here because it's time to change the world. We're linking arms because all boats rise together. No grand act of the universe is coming to do this for us. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we're here and ready.
Anybody else got chills? Happy well, thank you. Thank you so very much. And I thank you. My pleasure. This has been a joy, an absolute joy. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for your time. Thank you to E3. Thank you for everybody else. Amber, Chris, Brian for making this happen today. Yes, thank you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day, y'all. Wonder Woman in Gaming. Out. Do it. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Somos E3 en Entre Viñetas.
Jennifer Hale, why do you insist on making me tear up all the time? God dang it, man. Jennifer is saying, she's contributed. She might not see us get. You're gonna see us get there to equality and all the things that you want, Jennifer. I mean, jeez, please. Yeah, voice acting. Oh, I know. Yeah, exactly. Jennifer Hale, of course, FemChef, right now, Rivet and Ratchet and Clank, just crushing it as she does, and so do the rest of the panel, Courtney and everybody else. But Jennifer was on. We have cool friends over at Kind of Funny. Just this past pandemic, whenever the year was, I can't keep track. And of course, I've interviewed her so many times throughout my career, and she never fails to be such a source of inspiration for stories like she does.
Somos Entre Viñetas, somos más que solo cómics, esperando la E3 de Capcom. Capcom.
It's the internet, folks. We see that negativity out there. But just hearing these women come together.
Insisto, ¿qué quieren ver de Capcom? ¿Qué es lo que esperan que sea Capcom en su E3?
I think Courtney said something about, being a pillar of support and a
Capcom anunciará Onimucha, como dice nuestro amigo Chaos36 por Twitch. Esperemos que sí, esperemos que las expectativas de todos se cumplan. Estamos celebrando los videojuegos. Estamos a la espera de lo que sea esta E3.
You have a choice, right? Like, you can be negative or you can be positive. And they were like, hey, like, let's support each other. Let's be good to each other. Let's be loving to each other. So, no more fighting, you two.
Oh, no, that's definitely going to happen.
We fight the WWE way.
It's great wrestling. It's WWE way. We put each other over, you know, bury sometime.
Estamos a la espera de que sea la E3 de Capcom.
But something that I am just so happy to see is how much voice acting has taken such a role, like a center stage role, as it should have, you know? Because there was like a point in time where, especially like animes and stuff, like you didn't know, like they didn't get credit to the voice actors, but now like voice acting, it's emerged in such a way where there's you know, it's just top to bottom, man. Hey, Jennifer Hale, you took the Jennifer Hale gush session, so I do appreciate that. She's incredible. But yeah, it's wild to see how much this has improved and how it's only going to get better from here. The acting, the quality, the bar is being set so high for future generations to come.
100%, yeah, and I think that starts with game developers being able to take their craft seriously, be able to make compelling stories, then be able to cast compelling actors and be compelling characters. Kind of goes back to everything Naughty Dog's done. The original version of Telltale, Walking Dead, and the way you saw Dave Fennoy flock to that, right? And you've seen people like Ashley Johnson become stars as voiceover artists, and now artists, actors, right? Don't even be started on Troy Baker.
Oh, yeah, Troy Baker doesn't deserve more love.
Outside of voice acting, of course, music is an important part of the games we love, creating intensity.
Ya son las 5 de la tarde, estamos a media hora de la E3 de Capcom.
So, who better to talk about music and gaming than the hosts of Rolling Stone on Twitch, Tia and John?
Exclusivo de E3. Rolling Stone on Twitch con E3 2021.
I'm Tia Hill.
And I'm John Weigel, and we're the hosts of Rolling Stone on Twitch.
Yes, and welcome back to E3 2021.
Bueno, esta es de la revista Rolling Stone en realidad.
Back this year, and we're really happy to be a part of it.
That's right, and you can see us anytime you want, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time on weekdays, Monday through Friday, where we talk about music news, have live performances, and have very special guests come in pretty much every day of the week.
Exactly, so definitely make sure you follow us on Rolling Stone on Twitch. And right now we're going to do one of our
Estamos esperando
a dream mixtape. So this is a segment
que a las 17:30 sea la E3 de Capcom.
But this is a very special dream mixtape in honor of E3 coming back, and we're doing a dream video game mixtape.
That's right. If our channel was a video game, these are the songs that we feel would be the soundtrack.
¿Qué creen que podría anunciar Capcom?
We're currently in.
Exactly, and this would be the cover of the video game. If our channel were a video game, it is a drawing of John and I that we had on the channel.
It's a beautiful drawing. It is done by Ross Tran from Ross Draws on YouTube. He did a great job. He made us our different characters. He made Tia kind of this hacker kind of persona, and me this big old meathead with an axe or a guitar axe. So it's looking great, and that would be the cover of our video game.
Exactly.
If we had one, which we do now, theoretically.
Exactly. Well, we have a soundtrack for one at the very least. So starting off with the first track in the video game, probably the most important thing, because it's the first thing you hear of the title screen.
Right. Right, this is like, you know, of course, when you start the game.
Recordemos que mañana es la E3 de Nintendo a eso de las 12 horas, exactamente, 12 de Chile. Pero nosotros en Entre Viñetas estaremos cubriéndola a partir de las 11 aproximadamente. Así que especulando qué es lo que podría anunciarse. Dudo mucho en realidad que informen algo fuera de lo que son videojuegos. La Nintendo Switch Pro, la New Nintendo Switch es mera especulación hasta el momento. Hay algunas pequeñas pruebas, pero nada más que eso.
being jetted into a video game universe. So I had to
Así
pick
que
this race.
esperemos que va a suceder mañana.
For months to me about how you really like the instrumental for this track and have even just been bumping
¿Ustedes
the
qué
regular
opinan?
instrumental.
Coméntenos
So
con nosotros.
I think that it would be a great fit. It's also very video game, very kind of synth driven, has that vibe to it.
Entre Viñetas.
I really dig that.
Thank you.
Porque somos más que solo cómics.
Yes. So, okay, now
Yo por mientras los dejo un ratito, voy a volver a las 17:20 para estar con ustedes en el
Thinking specifically about time, I take my time. If I'm ever playing The Sims, you know I love The Sims. I will spend a good hour making my character.
That's like me in Super Smash Brothers. First of all, I can never pick the character because there are just too many now. There's just so many.
en la E3 de Capcom. Nos vemos un rato.
Captain Falcon like always, but then I'm like, okay, like let me like make him pink. So that takes an extra few minutes.
Exactly. Then when you're playing with other people, they're like, come on.
But anyways, what song, Tia, did you select for a choose your character screen?
I picked Tierra Whack Cable Guy because, like you were saying, it's you take your time when you're picking your character, and so this is a song that the song itself is only a minute long, but it's something that if you were to loop it over and over again, it's very unobtrusive. It's really smooth, it's really nice, and it calms you down enough so while you're making that, important choice of which character you're trying to get, you're calm with the music in the background. So I thought this was a nice choice.
This the title of the song really makes me believe that Larry the Cable Guy would be a selectable character in whatever game that we're having.
Exactly.
Which would be very interesting.
Exactly. So what do we have next? The starting town.
Yes.
This is important.
Where you begin your journey.
Exactly. And this makes me think of Link again, my favorite.
Yes.
Or when you're playing Zelda and he's just like running around the town and you're just like getting your bearings in any video game. Just
you're meeting up with the Koroks, you're having a good time.
Talking to the NPCs. Figuring out what's going on.
Trying to break some barrels for some rupees, for some sweet green rupees.
Exactly.
This is the song that you want to hear in your starting town. This was my selection.
Yes. So what did you pick here?
So I selected, this is Old Town Road by Lil Nas X. I feel like some people know this song out there, maybe just a few.
It's not that big though.
But specifically, when you take this song for a starting town, what I want it to do is loop. So you know that part in the song where it's just the chorus. It's like take my horse and the Old Town Road, I ride when I can no more. I want no verses. I want just a loop of that single chorus over and over and over again until the user gets super like annoyed and tries to leave town.
That's exactly what you need to keep moving on through the rest of the video game. So honestly, that's a good choice.
And that's how I kick you out of town. That's how I kick you out of town. But the thing is, there are more Easter eggs that populate in the first town later in the game, so you got to go back. So you got to use your time real wisely.
That's how you get them. Is it the regular Old Town Road? It's not any kind of remix, right?
No, it's the regular Old Town Road. We're talking no Billy Ray Cyrus on the track, just Lil Nas X in his olden days on the Old Town Road with you.
Good choice. Next, we have the loading screen. This is another one where I feel like it needs to be something relatively calm.
I felt that for the loading screen, this is the only track in this entire listing that I picked out from an actual video game.
Oh, yeah.
This is from Celeste, the original soundtrack. It's called First Steps. It is, I believe, the second track off of the soundtrack. Celeste is a video game. And it's kind of like an 8-bit style song. It's very like 1980s old style video game vibe.
That's perfect.
And that's what I really love about it. And I feel like for a loading screen in specific, it would work perfectly because you're waiting and you're hearing just a beautiful kind of 8-bit lullaby tune to help you wait.
And then it makes you not irritated when things aren't loading at the appropriate time. So that's perfect.
Exactly.
You need something calm. That's nice. I like that. Well, next we have the in-game world music, which is really honestly some of the most important music because this is what you're going to be listening to probably the most throughout the entire game.
Most of the time. If you've been like in a lot of games too, there is a song. Sometimes songs vary by level in a lot of video games, but there are some games that a song persists through the entire game. And if it's going to be that way, like we're going to have it right now, it's got to be good.
It's
It's
gotta
got to
be
be
something
something
good.
that I'm going to want to listen to and not mute my TV and turn on something else in the
That's
background.
very, very real. That is very, very real, which is why I chose a Glass Animals track, Tangerine. I feel like this song is so, well, first off, we had Dave Bailey from Glass Animals come on the show a few weeks back, but also this song is super immersive. This is from their album Dreamland, and a big thing that they wanted to do was make it feel like you're in a dream. So all of the songs really sound like you're being dropped into this world that they've created. And if you listen to Tangerine specifically, there are all these little sounds. There's like laughter in the background and all these different sound effects, which kind of remind me of when you're playing a video game and you just hear like, you know, the pitter patter of
Like
the footsteps.
indistinct chatter in the background and things like that.
And just nice things that really build the world and bring it to life and make you want to kind of live in that video game. So I felt like this was a good choice for something like
And
that.
I feel like the Dreamland idea really fits with the kind of aesthetic that we're building out for this game. Very like spacey, 1980s, Dreamland-esque. Like I remember I used to play on my Game Boy Advance Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland.
Oh my goodness.
Which is probably one of my favorite mobile games that I've ever had in my entire life. And that is like a perfect fit for this.
Oh, that
very
would be
dreamy,
perfect.
very,
Yes.
all of
Yes.
those wonderful stars
That
and
is a
clouds.
great one.
Mhm.
Well, getting more intense after you've explored the whole world and you get to the final boss battle.
That is right. The final battle of the game.
Exactly. Here is our boss for our channel's video game, our super producer and moderator, Chris.
He is our final boss battle every day.
Exactly.
Look at him spin.
Exactly. Look at that.
Look at him rotate.
And I believe this was your choice, John. What did you pick?
That's right. So I figured for a final boss battle, you need a big epic feel. You need there to be a lot of different instrumentation. You need there to be an orchestra. You need guitars, distorted guitars. So I picked a band that I really love called Born of Osiris. The song is called The Machine. It is a great track, very epic feeling at the end of a game when you're about to win the game, about to finish it up. And this track starts out with a huge orchestra beginning to play, and it is lovely. It has strings throughout, it has distorted guitars throughout, sick breakdowns, sick solos. You're gonna love this when you're fighting the last boss.
I feel like a big orchestral track is exactly what you need for something like this. You need something intense, you need something big that's gonna make you feel like, oh my gosh, this is a moment in the game that I'm playing.
Exactly.
Perfect choice.
Make it feel huge. You're about to finish this game, make it feel huge.
Final boss. Speaking of finishing games and things being over.
Yes, if you fail to defeat Chris, our boss in combat, you will then fail the game and you will die, as most people in video games do. And when this happens, you kind of want and you have a title card at your game over screen as well. Like I feel like my favorite title card for a game over screen is usually Fire Emblem for Nintendo. When there's just a sword jammed into the ground and it looks like everybody's dead around you, and it's horrific, terrible. So I figured I'd pick a song for this that fit that idea. So let's go to it. So it's a
great one.
If anybody knows Evanescence, this is Bring Me to Life. I feel like it's good in both lyric and concept, with death and being dead in a game. And again, the more you hear it, the more you die in the game, the less you'll want to be at the game over screen, and the more you'll want to restart the game and be brought back to life.
And that's
Isn't
perfect
that right?
because lyrically it fits exactly with what's going on. So I feel like, you know, lyrically the song also matches. This is a perfect choice, John.
Thank you very much.
This is a perfect choice.
Thank you.
A1 with this one. Well, next we have the in-game radio track. So we've described there's a lot of different elements to this video game we're creating. I'm going to add this kind of GTA element because I'm picturing GTA radio when I think in-game radio track. And for GTA radio, I would pick future March Madness, if that's the vibe we're going for. It just seems like we have a car in this game all of a sudden. And so we're driving around doing our thing. And this is a great song to just kind of drive to. I'm also a big Future fan because it adds to this world that we're creating that is in space, but also has cars, but also we're fighting bosses.
Right,
There's a lot going on.
we're fighting our boss. Yeah, if you were to get into this car, right, and you were to you're tinkering around, you're like while driving this like fictional car, you were like, oh, let me see what's on the radio, and you just accidentally hit the X button or something, and then just Future comes on. It'd be a nice surprise. It'd be a really fun surprise.
Exactly, it's like a nice little moment. So I thought I had to throw that in there.
The entirety of the game takes place in the month of March.
There we go. There we go. That's how it's relevant. That's a good one.
That's how it is. So next we have a song that sounds like how Mountain Dew tastes. And what we mean by this is a song that really gets you fueled for your game, a song that really makes you energetic and gives you that sugar rush that you need to get through the game with that green power that we can only associate with Mountain Dew.
Exactly. So what song did you pick for it?
So the song that I picked for this is a song by the band called Magic Sword. It's called In the Face of Evil, and Magic Sword is kind of a Daft Punk-esque band. They are all dressed up like Daft Punk. There are 3 of them, but they have a neon stripe that goes right around their eyes. Basically, they're kind of an 80s Tron-style synthwave, vaporwave group, and they make these songs that really, really inject, I feel like, a sugar rush into me every time I hear them, so that's why I picked them for this. Specifically, this song has a lot of arpeggiators, really harkens back to that 1980s old video game sound.
Love that.
Not exactly an 8-bit song, but it is a track that gets me really riled up and really excited to continue playing. So
That's perfect. That's a perfect choice.
And then now we move into minigame music, which is probably one of my favorite prompts that we selected because there are just so many possibilities.
There are so many possibilities. I think this is our last prompt as well, but when I think of minigame music and I think of minigames, I think of something that could be chaotic. There's a lot going on in the minigame, and clearly the game that we have created has many elements, so we don't even know what this minigame is going to be.
You finish this ridiculous game that we've created
There's
for you.
cars
You're
in it,
done.
there's horses,
It's
there's
all over.
bosses.
Right. You've ridden your horse down the old town car. And the whole game has happened, and then you get back and you're like, all right, what's the replay value? I'm going to play some mini games. And you got to pick a song in this that's going to be super erratic and fit any situation. And Tia, what song did you select for this?
Well, erratic is a perfect word because I picked by 100 Gex Ringtone. It is the remix with Charlie XCX and Rico Nasty. This song just has a lot going on in it. It has a lot going on. There's a lot of different sounds. It is a hyperpop song, and it's also, it gets really, really intense. There's this break in the middle when Rico is kind of yelling and doing her thing, and there's so many different sonic elements to it, and I feel like whatever mini game we're playing, this matches it perfectly, no matter what the game. So had to pick a 100 Gex song for this.
I love the selection of 100 Gex because I feel like that also just fits a video game realm so well, that kind of hyper pop edge to it. And also, like, when you're in a mini game, you could be doing anything. We could have, I would say, I would gather that we have at least 5 mini games in our game.
Oh, absolutely.
All of them are each you're doing something completely ridiculous and completely different than the last one, I'm sure. Yeah.
Who even knows what it would be? The next video game soundtrack we do, we'll
one of the mini
those details.
One of the mini games got to be like, you got to host the whole 2-hour stream. You just got to do the whole thing.
In front of your console and just talk for 2 hours straight. No, that's perfect. That's perfect.
The chat's covered up too.
Exactly. You gotta like dodge things. So that's great. I love it.
So everybody, that was our mixtape. We had a really great time putting it together, and we have put a link for that mixtape and our other mixtapes in our link below on Spotify. If you also want to make any of your own custom mixtapes on Spotify, you can send us the link to the email address below.
Yes, we definitely want to hear from you all. And if you enjoyed this, you can follow us and check us out every day, Monday through Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/rollingstone.
And you can catch us anytime, 24/7 on our Discord. We would like to just thank everybody for coming out, watching the show today, and enjoy your E3 2021 experience.
I appreciate really good character development. You're following a character and you really get to see how they grow, the adventures they go through, the turmoils that they have to go through as well, the obstacles, and how much they just grow as a character, the relationships, and it really made me appreciate good character writing and character development, so which I definitely use in my other projects all the time.
篝火营地是中国领先的游戏媒体，创立于2018年，致力于为全世界的中文游戏玩家提供专业、精准、迅速的资讯情报。篝火营地立足于中国，与多家国际一流游戏媒体同行达成正式内容合作关系，源源不断地将最新鲜的游戏资讯第一时间带给全球中文游戏玩家。自成立以来，篝火营地在全网的内容浏览量已经超过5亿，服务了数百万的读者和玩家。我们的愿景是做游戏文化传播者。您可以在全球各大手机应用市场下载篝火营地 APP， 或者访问3w.gamebonfire.com 来加入游戏传播者的行列。
As a part of Play For All, GameSpot will be bringing you the latest gaming news and announcements, interviews with developers, the biggest press conferences, and lots more. Play For All is our yearly online event that combines the excitement and announcements of E3 with charity live streams the following week with lots of special guests who are going to help us raise money for able gamers. So join us in June for E3 and Play For All on GameSpot.com, YouTube.com/GameSpot, Twitch.tv/GameSpot, and as a part of the E3's official broadcast. See you then.
It probably isn't like realistic, but I love to be in Dragon Ball Z. You know what I'm saying? I know that's a whole, I know this, I'm not a saying, but like if I could be in Dragon Ball Z and just like fight with Goku or Vegeta or just be in that series, that'd be crazy to me. Like, that'd be crazy. I'll put myself in GTA, but more realistically speaking, probably like Grand Theft Auto or like Call of Duty or, you know, even a character in Fortnite, like something like that. I think that'd be dope.
Welcome back to E3 2021. We are having so much fun on day 3, and Capcom has so many great franchises, and one of the longest running is Monster Hunter. With a feature film and a sequel for the Switch, it's been a busy year for the property. The folks at Capcom sat down for an AMA with Reddit to talk about their newest
Entre
release,
Viñetas,
Monster Hunter Rise.
Con la E3 en Entre Viñetas, a 10 minutitos de que empiece la conferencia de Capcom. Estamos viendo ahí un video del...
Hello Reddit, I'm Yuri from the Monster Hunter community team at Capcom USA.
モンスターハンターライズプロデューサーの辻本です。今回はレディットに寄せられておりますコミュニティの皆様の質問にお答えしたいと思っております。
Last month, we collected a number of your questions and sent them to Monster Hunter Rise director Yasunori Chinose. Unfortunately, he was unable to record a video of his answers, but he gave them to me right here. I'll be delivering them to you on his behalf.
Ya sabemos que se han anunciado o ya están al aire, por decirlo así, videojuegos como Monster Hunter Rise, Stories. Fue anunciado para Nintendo Switch Ace Attorney, The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, los videojuegos de los que se le denominó en su momento los Great Ace Attorney, con Sherlock Holmes, perdón. No se podía utilizar el nombre de Sherlock para el personaje por razones de netamente copyright.
重要な僕の中ではアイテムになってますので、ぜひ雨降った時は明けのシルームに傘代わりになっていただきたいと思っておりますので、好きなモンスターにさせてもらいました。
en 8 minutitos más, un poquito más de 8 minutos.
Magna Malo does not feed only on fresh meat, but also on decomposed meat. It decomposes the meat in its body and produces a special gas, which does not smell very good.
僕のはですね、鉄柱回転攻撃が、好きな技となっています。理由の方はですね、僕はハンマーを使ってるんですが、鉄柱回転攻撃ってすごくやっぱり、派手な攻撃でもありますし、すごい多段ヒットするので気持ちよさもあって、あと、距離もだいぶ詰めれますので、僕の中では結構ハンマーの中でかなり中心で使っている攻撃技となっています。
My favorite Silkbind move is Earthshaker. The damage from the first hit feels good, but the additional impact damage feels even better. You can enjoy the feeling twice with one attack.
Estamos esperando la
はい、子供
E3
の頃に
de
ですね、怖かっ
Capcom.
た妖怪っていうとですね、カッパという妖怪がいるんですけど、
It's Kappa for me. When I was younger, I saw a scene on TV where a man was dragged into a river by a kappa.
そのカッパという妖怪がですね、川とか、
And from that, I learned that it is dangerous to go near rivers.
池とかそういうところに潜んでてですね、結構その人をですね水の中に引きずり込むみたいなことが言われてる、妖怪なので、子供の頃川とかにも遊びに行ったりとかもしてたんで、結構身近にいそうで怖そうな、妖怪です。
During development, I often played hunting horn and heavy bowgun.
Ahí KO36 nos dice Sueños Imposibles, algo de MVC, lo que sea, remaster, remake de Azura's Wrath y que el rumor de Onimucha fuese real. Pucha, ojalá pues, Marvel vs Capcom sería bastante bonito, ya sea tanto para PlayStation, para Xbox, probablemente que salga, quizás incluso en Nintendo Switch, quien sea, un remaster, un remake de Azura's Wrath bastante agradable en realidad, y lo del rumor de Onimucha, pero quién sabe, todavía no se sabe nada, todo queda en mera rumorología.
My favorite armor is Bishaten. I love the light
Pero
design
esperemos
and how it
que
emphasizes mobility.
algo de eso
It
se
is inspired by the
cumpla.
costumes of Japanese ascetic monks and
Estamos
mountain
a
priests. My favorite skill is Horn Maestro.
como a 6 minutos, un poquito más de 5
好きな装備はで
minutos.
すね、僕ラージャの装備が結構好きでして、その見た目的にも好きですし、結構、シリーズでラージャの、防具が出ているときは絶対一度は作る、防具になっています。でスキルの方はですね、広域化っていうスキルを、結構つけることが多くて、周りの人にも自分の回復が影響するので、そういうなんか周りの人のちょっとでも手助けになるかなみたいなんで、
Recuerden participar con nosotros con el hashtag E3 en Entre Viñetas y para llevarse esta maravilla de Halo 5 Guardians.
今後出てくる、タイトルとかで、世界観とかがあって、ガチャブが、登場する必要性があるときには出てくるかもしれない
Participar en nuestro Instagram @entreviñetascl. ¿Cómo? Darle like, tienes que darle like a la publicación y etiquetar a 2 amigos para que sigan nuestras cuentas de Twitch y YouTube. Importante que si tú y los que etiquetas no siguen las cuentas, tu participación quedará fuera del sorteo. Comparte la publicación en tus historias y etiquétanos. Y si tienes un perfil privado, tómale un screenshot con al menos 3 horas de haberlo publicado. Y por último, coméntanos por qué quieres el juego y qué es lo que te apasiona tanto de los videojuegos, usando para ello el hashtag #MelaHalo con Entre Viñetas. Sí, un lindo juego de palabras bastante...
I wanted an iconic scene that would be recognized as Monster Hunter Rise just by looking at the food
la
I decided to use elements that were different from
elemento
those
de Capcom
used in the past, such as meat and fish.
poquito más de poquito menos de 4 minutos.
And since the theme for this game is Japanese, I decided to use Japanese sweets as motif. And who doesn't like sweets, right?
Es lo que esperamos sea
武器種の方はですね、やっぱり新しい武器を加えるとしてもですね、今まである14武器種とはやっぱり
sea un evento bastante correcto, bastante con bastantes anuncios. Bueno, es lo que se espera de una E3. Desgraciadamente los desarrolladores como Take Two o Warner Bros. Ayer no estuvieron a la altura, a mi parecer. Warner Bros. Game tuvo toda su conferencia refiriéndose a un único videojuego, el Back 4 Blood, perdón. Lo cual sinceramente lo tornó bastante fome. Menos falta para la E3 de Capcom.
Dual blades for speed, 100%. But nothing feels so satisfying though when you get that hit with the hammer and it's so heavy.
Insisto, este 3
So then you get caught and so they're on top of you.
está siendo netamente salvada actualmente por Microsoft, por Xbox, Bethesda, por Limited Run Games,
right out of the park.
Especially against the T-Rex.
un poco de Ubisoft ahí.
Actually, it's not officially a T-Rex.
Y mañana es el turno de Nintendo. Pero
Pero
esperemos a ver qué hace Halo. Halo que, o sea, perdón, Capcom. Halo, estoy clarito. Que tengo el concurso en el corazón. Esperar qué es lo que hace Capcom en poquito más de un minuto. Son las 17:28. A la espera del evento de Capcom. Se vale soñar, se vale soñar. Veamos qué es lo que se viene para la conferencia de la compañía japonesa.
Is what they have officially said. Of course, I still hold out hope for more on Resident Evil 4 VR. I hope more on that Resident Evil multiplayer game. Yeah. And then
Se viene Capcom, se viene Capcom en un minuto más.
You want to talk about Lost Planet like that's Sorry guys, I went down the rabbit hole. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up here. Although it would be fantastic to have it, but let's focus on what we already know.
Coméntenos qué es lo que esperan de esta conferencia usando los hashtags E3 en Entre Viñetas y para participar por el Halo 5 Guardians, que lo tengo acá.
Maybe give us some new stuff.
Yeah.
Jackie, what do you want?
Okay, so I am not super into puzzle mystery games, just being completely honest. But I mean, Ace Attorney just
Díganos
totally
qué
plays
es
to me.
lo
Obviously,
que
I'm a
esperan
big
de
weeb. I absolutely adore anime.
de esta
So just seeing the
conferencia
protagonist
con
being like,
Capcom.
objection. Like, I'm just like, I am absolutely 100%
hablando de
here
eso,
for it.
Tony?
Also, there's a character in there named Herlock Sholmes.
Of course.
I mean,
That's
that
how you get
alone,
around
I'm
here.
just like, I'm
Objection.
exactly. I was like, I love this, so I'm definitely here.
Saludos a Eric, que fue el primero que nos presentó a mi grupo de amigos de la universidad a Ace Attorney mientras tenía una DS, que era un juego. Estamos a solo 17:30, ya debería estar empezando los próximos segundos el evento de Capcom.
3,
2, 1, Capcom, 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 se viene Capcom. Vamos a ver qué nos anuncia Capcom para la E3. I want 10 Customer 2. La E3 de Capcom 2021 y lo estás viendo por Entre Viñetas porque somos más que solo cómics. Veamos qué nos dice la compañía
Welcome to
en
the
materia de
Capcom
videojuegos.
E3 Showcase. I'm your host Rachel
The Races
Cuervo,
Attorney
aka
Chronicles,
Seltzer,
Pro
and I'll be your
2021.
guide as we walk through the latest
Resident Evil
releases,
Village.
news, and updates from Capcom. We'll hear
Monster
from the
Hunter.
Resident Evil Village team, share some news from the world of Monster Hunter, and get the latest on Ace Attorney. Then we'll wrap up with some updates from our friends at Capcom Fighters. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. Our first
Veamos.
stop today, Resident Evil Village.
Ya hay
The
información sobre
Resident Evil
Resident Evil
franchise
Village.
continues to pioneer the latest and greatest in survival horror. The team has been blown away by the response to Resident Evil Village, which launched last month. It brought the world another chapter in this decades-long story as the franchise celebrates its 25th anniversary this year.
25
I'm
aniversario
honored
ya.
to be able to introduce Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil Village, with a special
La
message for
información
the
sobre
fans.
Resident Evil Village.
Another time.
Lady Dimitrescu.
There's nothing to fear.
Rose! She's everything to me.
I think it's time you left things in my hands. Go on, rest now.
Hi everyone, my name is Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil Village. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's played since we launched the game in May. We hope you're enjoying this new chapter in survival horror. As a reminder, everyone who purchases Resident Evil Village will gain free access to our online multiplayer title, Resident Evil Re:Verse, where players go head-to-head with their favorite Resident Evil heroes.
Se está anunciando Resident Evil Verse.
That Resident Evil Re:Verse will go live next month.
Con acceso gratis por lo que caché del Resident Evil Village.
The Resident Evil 25th anniversary.
PlayStation 5, Play 4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X y S, Stadia, Steam. Por demanda popular, el desarrollo de un DLC adicional ya está en desarrollo.
Next up, some long-awaited news from the world of Monster Hunter.
DLC en desarrollo
Whether it's adventuring alongside monsters or battling them with friends, we've got something for you. First, let's dive into the brand new story-based RPG entry to the series, Monster Hunter Stories 2: Wings of Ruin.
Monster Hunter Stories 2. Capcom presenta. Si esto era destino.
Red may have been strong and skilled, but against the awesome power of nature, he was merely a man.
Era solamente un hombre. Nunca tuvo chance.
All around things just kept getting worse. But I heard that Guardian Ratha had survived and returned to Hekolu Island.
Isla de
I went
Hakolo.
there to see Red's old monster again.
Estamos viendo lo que es Monster Hunter Stories
Then, of
2
course, that's when I met you.
para la Nintendo Switch.
You were given Red's kinship stone and now a Rathalos egg.
Debo decir que se ve bastante fluido. Volvemos con las especulaciones de la New Nintendo Switch, de la Nintendo Switch Pro.
The monster with the wings of ruin. It's said that a beat of its wings can bring about waves of destruction.
Many people believe there's a connection between
Se ve
the
bastante
strange
fluido.
happenings and the wings of ruin. The pits are appearing everywhere, and they're emitting a strange light.
Monster Crusher, Battlefield, Symphonies. Monster Hunter Stories 2.
This whole idea of forming kinship with monsters. How do you control them?
It's not about control.
No sobre control.
Monsters help riders of their own will.
Los monstruos ayudan a los riders a su voluntad
And riders
y los lazos entre ellos son como tu lazo con Tsukino.
What kind of power does Ratha
¿Qué clase
really
de
have?
poder tiene Rata?
Why are all of these pits appearing? And who are
¿Por qué
these
todos estos
people who
pozos están
want to take
apareciendo?
Ratha for themselves?
¿Por qué ellos están
All I
llevando a
have
Rata
are
para
questions.
ellos? Todo lo que tengo
If
son
there's worry or
preguntas.
doubt in your voice, Ratha will become anxious
Si hay una
too.
palabra o una preocupación de tu parte, Rata también se preocupará.
That you will protect him
Necesitas
no
saber que
matter
lo
what.
proteges, no
I can
importa de qué.
sense the flames of his life
Puedo
force weakening.
sentir las flamas de su fuerza,
The burden of
de
such
su
great
vida
power
yéndose.
is too much for his body to bear.
Es mucho para su cuerpo, para sobrellevar su cuerpo.
A voice.
Una voz,
Can you hear it?
¿la puedes oír?
Riders can bond with monsters.
Los riders pueden enlazarse
Surely you
o
can groove
crear,
with fellow
crear
humans.
lazos con los
They have
monstruos.
the power of kinship.
Tienen el poder del
Their
kinship.
friends, their monsties.
Sus
Humans
amigos,
carry the
sus
strength
monstruitos.
of everyone they meet. That makes them strong.
Los humanos llevan lo que pueden
My
llevar.
friends here
Eso es lo que
taught
los
me
hace
that.
fuertes.
I believe in the strength of humanity.
Creo en la fuerza de la humanidad. Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin. Y lo viste. Updates. Free title. Palamut el 15 de julio. Un trial el 25 de junio. Deluxe Edition. Bonus de preorden. Amigos. Y si compraste Monster Hunter Rise, disponible el 9 de julio.
Looks pretty epic, right? And how about that announcement? The canine companion Palamute from Monster Hunter Rise will be joining Monster Hunter Stories 2 as one of the new monsters in the
Exclusivo
first free title
de
update
Nintendo
coming soon after
Switch.
the game's release. You can get an early peek at the game with the Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin trial version starting on June 25th, which also carries your progress over to the full game release just a few weeks later on July 9th. That's not the only way to join the hunt. Millions of you made Monster Hunter Rise a huge success earlier this year, and we have even more content coming, including a new collaboration on the Rise. Let's find out more.
Esto parece más Pokémon, pero si los monstruos fueran de verdad monstruos. Real.
Let's go. This is for my fellow hunters.
Monster Hunter Rise. Capcom Collab 1.
Rathalos is no runt. Moon's blessing emerge. Get ready. I have a good feeling. What will it be? Moon's blessing emerge.
Oh. Monster Hunter Rise con Monster Hunter Stories 2, versión 3.1 de Monster Hunter Rise. Más elementos, stickers, elementos de pago, DLCs. Monster Hunter Rise versión 3.1. Monster Hunter Rise ya está.
There has never been a better time to be a Monster Hunter fan, with all the new updates to Monster Hunter Rise and the launch of Monster Hunter Stories 2 this summer.
El 24
we
de
can't wait to
junio.
hear about your own stories of adventure. Well, that's not the only thing Capcom has in store for us
Versión
this
3.1
July.
de Monster Hunter
Fans of
Rise.
Phoenix Wright will have new chapters to explore.
The Great
The release
Ace
of the
Attorney.
Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. North American and European future attorneys will finally be able to get their hands on the Great Ace
Al
Attorney
fin va-
Adventures and the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, which were previously
Van a
only
trasladar,
available
van
in
a
Japan. You'll travel back in time to the late 19th
llevar este
century
gran
Japan
videojuego
and London to play as Ryunosuke Naruhodo,
a Oriente,
Phoenix
o sea,
Wright's
Occidente, perdón.
ancestor, in this action-packed prequel. Now let's hear more about the story.
La película cronológica de Ace Attorney. Objection. Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. ¿Cuándo? ¿Qué fecha? Es lo que necesito saber.
Welcome to the center of the world.
Bienvenido al centro del mundo.
Mighty capital, London.
Yonosuke Naruhodo. Antepasado de Ryuichi de Phoenix Wright.
So then, let us unravel this
Ahora
mystery
está
and discover
Herlock
what
Holmes.
events
Ahí
led
está.
to this curious murder. Who are you? Herlock Holmes. You must
Herlock
have heard.
Holmes.
We must
Me
solve
encanta.
this case, Naruhodo-san.
Let us engage in the art of deduction, Mr. Naruhodo.
Un nuevo juego, o sea, un port de un juego de la 3DS
It would seem the truth.
salido en Japón solamente, no le habían hecho localización. Y ahora que lo localizaron para Switch, tuvieron que cambiarle el nombre de Sherlock Holmes a Herlock Holmes porque copyright.
Your testimony completely contradicts the facts.
Videojuego tipo novela gráfica, pero en donde tienes que encontrar contradicciones, hacer investigación. Oh, un jurado. Inclinar la balanza. Lo hemos hecho, señor Narujodo. Ganamos. The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Disponible el 27 de julio.
So we have 10 new cases and 8 mini escapades where you can take on the role of a defense attorney.
Exclusivo para Nintendo Switch.
Let's take a closer first look at 2 gameplay features new to the franchise in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles: Dance of Deduction
para
and
PlayStation 4.
Summation Examination.
Hello, I'm Jonathan, Capcom's marketing brand manager for the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch y Steam.
Where to?
The Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
The Capcom team is thrilled to present 2 new gameplay features, Dance of Deduction and Summation Examination, coming to the Ace Attorney series.
Una información del gameplay de Great Ace Attorney. La danza de la deducción.
While investigating to prove your client's innocence, players will come across conspicuous situations that require further examination with the help of Yunosuke's legal aid
Sherlock Holmes
and the brilliance of deduction from Detective Herlock. Herlock will proceed to present his logic and reasoning spectacular, a grandiose yet flawed series of conjectures.
Una enorme par de tijeras. No puede fallar al observar el sujeto del artículo posee una extraordinaria barba. Viendo el artículo, has decidido remover tu vello facial. Eres revolucionario ruso.
Ryunosuke and Susato will then discuss to correct the flaws in Herlock's deductions. At this point, players will be prompted to search for clues that help identify the errors in the detective's logic and reveal the truth to the mystery.
Vamos a ver qué nos trae.
As players present new evidence and observations, Herlock will amend his deductions based on the new information. Upon uncovering the truth, Ryunosuke and Herlock enter into a semi-metaphorical, semi-literal dance that brings them to the conclusion of the dance of deduction.
Lo supuse. Supuse que era una mujer vestida de hombre. No sé por qué, no lo dije antes, pero lo supuse. Sí. La prima ballerina. La señorita Nikolina Pavlova. Ya literalmente dieron vuelta al caso. Nikolina Pavlova. A ballerina on the run. Resuelto. Deducción completada. Elemental. Ya. Ya, eso fue las deducciones, dado vueltas por decirlo así. El baile de las deducciones.
One black, representing a guilty verdict, and one white, representing a not guilty verdict.
Objection!
In summation examination, take the stand to face off against the jurors. all of whom provide explanations as to why they've reached their guilty
Un
verdict.
par de jurados ya. O sea, varios jurados. Que
You'll
buscar
have to
ahí.
identify conflicting statements and sway the jury in your favor. Examine each statement carefully and select 2 contradicting jurors to call out the flaws in their logic.
Claramente hay alguien que ahí está.
Objection.
¿Qué? Explíquese, por favor.
Be ready to provide evidence from the court record to help prove the contradiction in their claims.
Bueno, estos juegos se tratan básicamente de encontrar las
If you
contradicciones.
successfully point out one of these contradictions among the jurors, you might just change their minds too. With a slam of their fist, each juror you
Nada ha
persuade
cambiado en
will
ese
send a
sentido,
fiery ball
solamente
towards the
ciertas
scales above
mecánicas de
and literally tip
investigación.
the scales of justice in your favor. Bring each contradiction to light and persuade the jury to help prove your client's innocence.
Objection! My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage.
Se enojó el fiscal.
Small taste of the exciting new gameplay features in the Great Ace Attorney.
Lo que están haciendo
We are very
básicamente
excited to get this game in the hands
es inclinar la balanza literal al lado de la persona.
Thanks for watching.
PlayStation 4, Switch y Steam. The Great Ace Attorney
It already seems
Chronicles.
like I have a bunch of games to catch up on. There are some exciting new adventures and titles to look forward to. Well, that's a look at the new premieres from Capcom, but what about esports?
¿Qué
Let's
más?
close out today's showcase with a few words from 2 of the stars of Capcom Fighters, Rob TV
Capcom
and
Pro Tour.
Vicious. They'll tell us what's been going on with Capcom esports, including updates on the Capcom Pro Tour, Intel World Open, Street Fighter League, and all the other content on Capcom Fighters. Over to you guys.
La Play 4 se niega a morir con The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. No va a salir para PlayStation 5.
Welcome to the Capcom Esports presentation for E3 2021. My name is Vicious, commentator for the Capcom Pro Tour.
Estamos viendo lo que son los
competitive Street Fighter 5 player and host extraordinaire.
eSports con Capcom Pro Tour 2021.
Host extraordinaire. That just sounds beautiful. It has a ring to it, and I think that's the perfect word to describe what we have for everyone today. Street Fighter 5, Capcom, E3. It just feels right, and you feel the electricity
Somos
in the air.
E3 en Entre Viñetas viendo en vivo la conferencia de Capcom.
That was nasty. And there might be some people at home, bitches, who don't fully know what competitive Street Fighter 5 is. The long and the short of it is this. We travel all around the world, state to state, country to country, and we try to bring our opponent's life bar from 100 all the way down to 0 and feel pretty goddamn good doing it.
That's right, Rob. If you think you're the best in your region,
Capcom Pro Tour.
sign up for Capcom Pro Tour.
Más que un videojuego, en realidad es una serie de competencias.
So in this year's CPT overall, it's a series
Ahora,
of
¿cómo lo harán
tournaments
con el hecho de que estamos en pandemia?
for each tournament, but that money alone, that's not
Premio
the big,
$5,000.
that's not what's really
Ya.
at stake here. It's about making it to the granddaddy of them all, Capcom Cup.
Street Fighter.
Item just reset in grand finals of Capcom Cup.
So behind me, you can see in all of its glory, the Capcom Pro Tour 2021 official stage and set, and that's a place that you are very, very familiar with.
That's right. We take all of our events and broadcast it live from this stage, and we check out all of the top competitors from each and every one of these regions. And speaking of, the Capcom Pro Tour has shaped up a lot. 2021, we have 32 events.
Están hablando sobre los
spanning across 19 different
eSports de
territories.
Capcom.
So there's so many opportunities for players from around the world to get that ticket into Capcom Cup this season. I'm absolutely excited because, again, that is a big change from what 2020 was into what we could expect for 2021.
Somos Entre Viñetas, somos más que solo cómics. Mientras estamos viendo la conferencia de Capcom.
Not only can you catch the Capcom Pro Tour live on the Capcom Fighters
A la
channel, you can do
espera
so on a plethora of
de más
platforms. We
anuncios de
have on
videojuegos,
Twitch,
no
YouTube,
tanto
Twitter, and
eSports.
Facebook. Of course, if you don't catch it live, you can also check out the VODs for all the competitive studying you would need to become a successful Street Fighter V player, as well as catching some of the community-focused content that we have on Capcom Fighters. We have No Neutral, the official pre-show of the Capcom Pro Tour. We have sets where we take players from around the world and play off in an exhibition first to 10. Not only that, actually, we do have Street Fighter League that's happened season after season, non-stop action, 6 teams of 3, duke it out in this battle tournament series to see who will walk away with the championship and the $150,000 prize pool.
Street Fighter League is something that you don't want to miss because normally we only have 1v1 content. But now you actually have your teammates at your back, and every decision that you make is not just about you anymore.
Look for more news on Street Fighter League later this year.
It's Oki time. What's gonna happen?
Nice.
He checks it. He checks the movement.
Broadcast schedule.
To commemorate this event, everyone who logged in during this period will receive an exclusive competitor title and dojo object. You do not want to miss this.
I highly recommend everyone to stay
Estamos viendo
for future
la
Capcom Pro Tour
conferencia de Capcom
on the
anunciando el Pro
Capcom
Tour
Fighter channel.
2021.
Again, we've had so many events so far. We started off with the Japan region. We've had a couple of more events going on afterwards, but the action
La serie de
does not stop. In fact, we're gonna be
competencias,
continuing off with the Midwest region.
particularmente con Street Fighter.
Definitely excited about that.
100%. I mean, of course, your boy is from Ohio. Make sure you guys tune in to see the tournament.
Es lo que se refiere a los
Some of the
eSports.
best Street Fighter V players in the world compete head to head.
So it's
I dare you to find better Street Fighter. I dare you.
This is a game about being a world warrior. Capcom College Tournament play.
Obviously, they got a rivalry. I'm the best in the world.
This game has changed the lives of so many people
in the world.
This game has changed the lives of so many people here.
Son tan dramáticos a veces los e-players.
This is the ultimate Street Fighter V experience. This is Capcom Pro Tour.
North America Midwest Qualifier. Ya, den más noticias de
It's been a
videojuegos.
really exciting season so far, and I can't wait to see how this plays out on the road to Capcom Cup. Remember to check out Capcom Fighters' Twitch and YouTube channels for more information and to watch the latest
Ya pues,
matches.
den más
So
noticias.
that's a wrap for Capcom at E3 this year. Let's recap what we all saw. Resident Evil Village is
Sí.
back with the latest installment of the survival horror experience
Actualizaciones
and
de
RE-Verse as part of the franchise's 25th
Village.
anniversary. We have new adventures to embark on in the world of Monster Hunter,
Información de Monster
with
Hunter
Monster Hunter
Stories
Stories
2.
2, Wings of Ruin, and Monster Hunter Rise.
Rise, que ya está para
And don't
Switch.
forget to go back in time with the great Ace Attorney Chronicles to tap into the family history of Phoenix Wright and solve new cases. Finally, don't miss out on the esports fun. Make sure you catch the latest matches with Capcom Fighters. There really is something for everyone here today. But don't go anywhere yet. Join the conversation on Twitter and make sure you check out the Capcom virtual booth on the E3 portal to watch all these videos again and more. I'm Rachel Querico, aka Seltzer. Thank you for being part of the Capcom experience at E3 this year.
Really? Decepcionante. Otra decepción que se le suma a la de Warner Bros. Games, a la de Take-Two Interactive, en lo que anuncio de videojuegos se refiere. Ya temas sociales, no, nada que decir. Concuerdo con Chaos 36, malito, por decirlo menos. Mediocre. Lo de Great Ace Attorney podría haber estado en la Switch en la conferencia de Nintendo mañana, fácilmente. Pero como va a salir también para Play 4 y Steam.
Welcome back, and that is a wrap on Capcom's presentation. I thought that rhymed for a second, and then I was gonna go, that rhymed, and then I was like, that didn't
Real,
rhyme.
quedé muy decepcionado con la 3 de Capcom.
I was like, that doesn't rhyme at all. It's just,
Así que todas las fichas básicamente se vuelven a poner con Nintendo para el día de mañana.
certainly got me amped. We saw a lot of great
¿Quiénes están siendo los grandes ganadores hasta el momento? Xbox, Bethesda. Este es mi top, por lo menos mi top personal de los E3. Limited Run Games, que anunciaron bastante y bien interesantes videojuegos. Square Enix estuvo ahí bastante correctito, bastante pelita, pero no fue suficiente, creo yo. No ha sido suficiente, no ha sido. Solamente Xbox con Bethesda ha dado el ancho, pero ninguno de los otros más ha sido capaz de dar una E3 decente, dar una E3 correcta, una E3 que se centre en los videojuegos, que se centre en la entretención. Una actualización del Village era obvio, muy obvio. Era hasta innecesario informarla quizás. Monster Hunter 2 Rise y el Stories 2, como van a salir en Switch, deberían haber salido para la conferencia de Nintendo Direct de mañana, pero no lo hicieron. En cambio, lo volvieron, o sea, lo metieron dentro de Capcom porque Capcom no tenía más que anunciar que la actualización del Village, que el Greatest Attorney Chronicles, que me encanta que al final hayan hecho, que hayan traído este juego a Occidente, pero nada más, no. Y el Capcom Pro Tour 2021, estamos en pandemia, todavía estamos en situación donde no se puede salir, donde tenemos que estar encerrados en nuestras casas, y este es el mejor momento para que los videojuegos permitan eso. Definitivamente decepcionante, esmirriado. La E3 de Capcom. Básicamente todas las esperanzas propias, esto estoy hablando por mí obviamente, se centran en el Nintendo Direct de mañana a las 12 horas, y en Entre Viñetas te lo tenemos en vivo y en directo, con mis comentarios obviamente, y viviéndolo con ustedes, porque en Entre Viñetas somos más que solo cómics. Recuerden participar por el Halo Guardians, Halo 5 Guardians. ¿Cómo participar? Súper sencillo. En nuestro Instagram, @entreviñetascl, está la base de concurso, se las leo. Dale like y etiqueta a los dos amigos para que sigan nuestras cuentas de Twitch y YouTube. Y importante que si tú los que etiquetas no siguen las cuentas, tu participación quedará fuera del sorteo. Comparte la publicación en tus historias y etiquétanos. Y si tienes un perfil privado, tómale un screenshot con al menos 3 horas de haberlo publicado y coméntanos por qué quieres el juego y qué te apasiona tanto de los videojuegos, usando para eso el hashtag #Halo con Entre Viñetas.
We have come a long way here together. For gamers, by gamers, and today we're one of the biggest gaming brands in the world. We span hundreds of millions of gamers, from PC gaming to console gaming to mobile gaming. But what I'd like to talk a little bit about today, to kick things off, is PC gaming. Something near, dear, close to my
Malo. Malena L3
So in 2011,
de Capcom.
we launched the world's first true gaming laptop. And this caused quite a bit of controversy back then, because gaming laptops were not gaming laptops in the true sense of the word. They were gaming luggables back in the day. Super thick, super heavy. And the Razer Blade was the first true gaming laptop in the sense it was super thin, super light, and super powerful. And it ushered in a new generation of gaming laptops. And since then, over the past 10 years, the entire industry has moved to follow in the footsteps of the Razer Blade. In 2013, we launched the world's thinnest gaming laptop. 2016, we invented the world's first Thunderbolt 3 external GPU. In 2018, we launched the world's smallest 15-inch gaming laptop. And since then, we've now got the entire Razer Blade family. We've got the Blade Stealth 13,
malo,
Blade Pro
Malena.
17, and of course, we've got the Blade
El
15.
E3
And
de
the Razer Blade has
Capcom,
been both
y se
a
están ganando el
critical
operativo
and
nuevamente
commercial
de
success.
Capcom.
It's been called the very
Qué
best
terrible, ¿no?
gaming laptop in the world and continues to win accolades over and over
Decepcionante
again.
por decirlo menos.
And at this point,
Son las
many
6 de
of
la
our fans,
tarde.
many of the Razer community is asking, what's next?
Luego de
So,
prácticamente
we
7
go
horitas
down
de
and we talk
transmisión,
to
nos
every
despedimos.
single
Recuerden
one of our
estar
fanbase, for
atentos
gamers,
mañana,
by
que a las
gamers, we talk to
11
the press, and one
sí,
thing that we've
entonces,
heard consistently
estaremos
over the past
al aire
couple of
con
years is when
lo
is
que
Razer
queda de
going to
E3,
make
este
an AMD gaming
este
laptop?
festival de los videojuegos.
Well,
para que puedan acompañarnos a eso de las 11 de la mañana, hora Chile, porque a las 12 es el evento de Nintendo. Cuídense mucho, nos estamos viendo mañana temprano y recuerden, en Entre Viñetas somos más que solo cómics y no olviden participar para llevarse el Halo 5 Guardians utilizando el hashtag E3 en Entre Viñetas. Nos estamos viendo.